All right. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, I usually come on and have something kind of prepared to talk to you guys about, but today I just got a text from a family member, and they are back in the doctor's office or the hospital with the same issue. Um, they've had heart problems for the last 3 years or so. And it may be different heart issues as far as like, the first time they had a stroke, they've had chest pains. Now they're back in today for AFib things. I don't remember all these things, but it has to do with the heart. And first of all, obviously, you guys know I'm not a medical doctor. I am a PhD, educational psychology and research. And I do understand that the top 9 of 10 diseases are all what I call FTDs, food transmitted diseases. So they are back in the hospital because of their food choices. And although, this family member, I love them dearly, what I'm getting tired of is getting text messages, just saying, hey, I'm back in the hospital and to pray for me. Sorry, what was that? I don't even know. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Sorry, I'm joining from different places. But I'm wondering if you guys are tired of getting text messages or, notifications or whatever that another person that you love dearly is back in the hospital for the same issue. Anybody tired of that? And then what I'm really tired of is the person saying, pray for me. That is the most annoying thing. Like, am I supposed to pray for you to stop reaching for those donuts and those cookies? Now, I know these things are addictive, but this is what I do. I help people retrain their brain to no longer want to reach for those things. So, if you guys had a magic pill, or if you had someone that you knew that can help you no longer desire the foods that are hurting you, would you take it? Would you do it? Would you go through that training process? Or are you just more like in the mindset of like, you know what? Those donuts and those cookies are good. So I don't want to give those up. And I know they're hurting me, but even though I know somebody can help me no longer desire those foods, I don't want to give them up. So you guys tell me from wherever you're joining from. I have the Skool, I have Instagram, and I have YouTube. Tell me, would you rather keep eating the foods that you know don't benefit you whatsoever? Or if you knew a better way, would you start to retrain yourself? Because I am just sick of these messages. And I'm just like, at some point, you've got to go beyond getting prescriptions. You want to go to the place of where you're like, okay, let me actually do some participating versus just leaning on participation. Hello from India. Wow. In Ireland. Wow. I'm getting some places from multiple different places. That's awesome. I've got some new people joining here. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. I know you're just joining, and I appreciate you for the first time. Normally, I have something prepared and kind of organized to talk to you guys about. But today, literally right before I just joined, I just got another text message from a family member that I love dearly. But it's kind of annoying that the message was, "Hey, I'm back in the hospital for the same issue as they had for 3 years, and asking for everybody to pray for them." Like, what is that gonna do? Now, I'm not saying, obviously, I'm very spiritual. I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual, and definitely the Creator handles all of it. However, the Creator also gives us knowledge. The Creator also gives us a pathway to do some things differently when what you were doing before is not working. So, how long, how many doctor's visits does it take before we realize we've got to do something different? Especially when you have a family member that would do anything for you, but the prayers are not working. Because when I saw the, hey, pray for me, What I prayed for was for you to stop reaching toward, those cookies and candies, and the coffee is really this particular side of the family's problem. Now again, I am not just pointing the finger, because we all have our weaknesses, and these foods are addictive on purpose. That is why many of us are hurting. I totally get that. But that's what I do. I help retrain the brain to no longer desire those foods. So I want to ask you again, would you guys, are you in a space to where if you could take a magic pill and no longer desire donuts, candy, cookie, whatever your weaknesses are, your emotional eating patterns, if you could do something about that, would you do it? Or are you more in a space where it's so good, I don't want to give them up? Let me know. I really truly want to know. Okay? Hey there. All right. So some people say I would take the magic pill. All right. Some people say it's so good. Totally understand all of these things. Listen, I didn't get here because I was perfect. I got here because I didn't have things figured out. But what I did do is that I kept going until I could understand my thought process. That is what led me to get my PhD, was because I wanted to understand, listen, I have these fibroids. The doctor just wants to get them cut out. He says they're probably going to grow back. And I was like, okay, let's stop them from growing back. And once I did the research to understand it was mostly meat and dairy that was causing my health issues, causing me to bleed for 2, 3 weeks, causing me to just keep just heavily just be in pain, and all these things that they tell us that it's just part of being a woman. Once I realized that that was mostly BS, I still continue to eat the meat and dairy. So once again, I am not on my high horse in saying that, hey, you know better, stop doing that. Those of us, or I don't have kids, but those of you that have kids, we know that that's not enough. How many times have we told kids to do X, Y, and Z and they still don't do it? So I totally understand the knowledge alone is not enough. However, you've got to put together the knowledge and the emotion to make more of an impact. And then if that's not enough for you, you need structure. You need structure. And that's what I created, is the structural part, because I don't want it taking 10 years like it did me to retrain your brain to want to desire better for you. Okay? That is what I've done. So, I appreciate you guys being here. So, tell me what your struggles are. And I'm going to fix it to where I can see my Skool in case you guys are sending me messages. How can I see that? Okay. So tell me what your personal struggles are. Like, what foods are really like feel like it has you in a pigeonhole? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, so okay, someone's asking me about the system. Think about this. If you've ever said, I'm going to start over on Monday, and whatever that is, like if it's eating healthier or working out. Let's just say it's both of them, because most people want to do both, which is way too much at one time, just to let you guys know. But let's just go with that example, because that's what I mostly get. If you're waiting till Monday to do one of those things, and Monday comes, you go down to the gym and you're looking around the gym and you're like, I don't even know where to start. You've already kind of lost, because you haven't prepared yourself before you got to that space. So you haven't thought about what kind of body you want. You haven't thought about, do I want bulky muscles or lean muscles? You haven't thought about, do I want to do cardio? You have to do some planning before you get there. So that's part of the structure. That's part of retraining your mind to actually want better for yourself. Okay? So just going to the gym, that's not magic. Okay? That's a little small part of it, but what is your plan before you get there? Okay? Then, as far as like if you want to start cooking more, what kind of plans are you making before you get in the kitchen? What are you going to make? How are you going to make it? Have you ever made it before? Have you gotten all of the ingredients from the grocery store before you got into your kitchen and you're like, all right, I'm ready to make some food? You have to do some prepping before Monday comes. So, as far as again, my family member just been in the hospital yet again for the same heart issue, what kind of planning are you doing to get there? It's the same patterns, obviously, because you're back there again. So, what other kind of structural thing you're going to put in place to avoid going back to that same doctor? Okay? Somebody says, I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to always wait until Monday, but it's better to just start. Absolutely, just start now. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? And once again, as I say these things, I'm not just pointing fingers at you guys. I have 3 or 6 more pointing right back at me. So I totally get it. But I guess I'm just a little bit frustrated right now because once people keep going through the same issues, it's like, how many doctor's visits does it take before you get tired of being sick and tired? Okay. Have you ever read James Clear, Atomic Habits? Favorite book of all times? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. So I actually have a framework that I've adapted from his for I can't even remember because it's been a long time since I taught it over this particular part. But I've adapted one of his frameworks into focusing on eating because that's what I teach is the psychology of eating. But his is more of general habits, which are still again, they're great. But it's a framework, it's a system that actually helps you stay consistent with whatever your goals are. So if you're listening to me and you want to stay consistent with your food habits, you need a system in place. So in my school, which again, I'm grateful for some of you guys joining me from Skool. If you didn't know, people that are in my school already, you have access to 2 weeks of the 13-week step-by-step program. So it's in once you go to the main page and you see community up top, you click on classroom and then you have access to the whole 2 weeks. So what it is for other people that are listening on other areas of social media, it's a 13-week step-by-step program on how to break up with your bad habits. Okay? So if you want to let it take 10 years like it did me, my searching over and over, trying this, trying that, or putting together the 8 years that I took in getting my PhD and putting it all together in like this package for you, where it just take you 13 weeks to get there closer, is that the magic pill that you would take? Obviously, it's your choice. But I'm just letting you guys know what's available for you. Okay? My addictions are cookies. I was the cookie monster, okay? And I'm going to give you guys some free information. If a lot of times our desires for sweets, especially like chocolate, because I have a lot of female followers. If you have a huge craving for chocolate all the time, what your body is really asking for is magnesium. Okay, so you're very deficient in magnesium. So you can either just go to the store and get some magnesium capsules, which I actually don't recommend, but obviously it's your free will. I recommend you actually getting it from a natural source. One of my favorites is sea moss. Okay, sea moss is one of the most natural vitamins and minerals that or not vitamins, but minerals that you can give your body. Okay, If you are looking at sea moss, make sure it's from a trusted source. Let me give you a couple of red flags. If you see sea moss in a store and it's colored outside of the natural, beige color, do I have? No, I don't have this. If it's outside of the natural beige color or a purplish, if it's like blue, red, yellow, and all these other crazy colors, that means it's mixed with some kind of fruit, but also some kind of preservatives that's going to not even help you. Okay? So you're taking something that's good for your body, but you're also taking these chemicals that actually contradict what you're doing in the first place. Red flag, do not buy from that seller. They're saying again, they're making it attractive with all these bright colors because of the saying that, hey, it's got fruit in it as well, which is typically another benefit. However, how long does it take for a fruit to go bad once you cut it open, especially? It days, like maybe a day. Usually it's supposed to be for hours, but if you're here in the US, I know some people are joining from other countries, but if you're in the US, it should take just hours, but maybe a day or two. And so sea moss, if you make it properly, it should last 3 to 4 weeks. So if you've got fruit and something that lasts for almost a month, can you imagine? Can you imagine what else is in that sea moss? So no, like I would not buy it from that supplier. Okay. Other red flags is, again, look at the expiration date, because I'm starting to see it in grocery stores, and all they're doing is just getting on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, okay, this is an opportunity to make money because everybody's talking about it. The last time I saw it in a grocery store, it lasted for like 6 or 7 months from the date that I picked it up. Another red flag. Don't do that. Okay. Make sure you find a sea moss supplier that you trust. Okay. Do I? Yes, I do offer it on my website, but I'm gonna stop selling it just because I don't like to deal with physical products. It just takes too long to do this. Like, I'm not a shipper and a packager and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna take it off soon. But if you want it, it is on my site, drdenisithinks.com. But I'm really gonna get out of selling it, and I'm gonna end up giving you guys my supplier, and I know one other person that I actually trust. All right. But yeah, so feel free to get it from me for now, but it's not going to be on there for very long. For those that are interested in being in my school, you have a 7-day free trial. 7-day free trial. If you don't like what you see, you just leave, and then there's no harm, no foul. If you like what you see past the 7 days, it's only a $5 charge, $5, and then you get access to the second week of the program as well. So if you like what you see, you continue on, and then you just take the rest of the 11 weeks. Now, it is the end of March. Right now, the program is $997, and you'll have lifetime access to the program. Starting in April, the price will increase to 3 times as much, because it is just to the point to where a lot of people have already gone through the program. It's proven, it has a track record. It's proven great success. But in addition to the program, I'm also including a full year of therapy from a certified life coach. She's absolutely amazing. So you get that, because, and the reason why, and somebody's asking me why the therapy. The reason why a lot of our food choices is not just the cravings. It's not just, just because we've been doing something for a certain amount of time. Those two things matter, absolutely. But additionally, it's our emotions that are driving our behavior, and that drives our food choices. So if I have a therapist also working with me on what I do to help you retrain your brain, the two of us together is just like, oh, you're calmer, things are more smooth in your life. And so you're like, oh, okay, I don't actually mind having, making my own spaghetti sauce. which the store-bought spaghetti sauce has sugar in it, which is keeping you more addictive, and it's keeping you on that same entire loop, right? So if we're helping you with all areas of your mental, mind, body, soul, you'll make healthier food choices. You'll actually want to make healthier food choices. Okay. Somebody says it's hard to find anything with magnesium. Never heard of sea moss though. How would it be cooked or served? So great question. Um, Let me show you. I'm going to show you my supply. Okay. I'm not sure if you can really see this. It's kind of light in here, but let me pull one out. All right, sea moss is just basically look like strands of, I don't want to say hair because that's kind of gross, but it's just strands. It's a sea vegetable that comes from the ocean, and it's a sea vegetable. So if you've ever heard of nori or bladderwrack or nori, bladderwrack is something else that I'm missing, which nori is the black paper that's wrapped around sushi rolls. Those also come from the ocean as well. And so that provides 92 of 102 minerals that we need every single day. So the store don't really have this kind of stuff. This comes from like the islands or the waters of Peru, Jamaica, Honduras. This is Honduran sea moss right here. And what you do is that you put it in a bowl, you rinse it out from the faucet. People say they rinse it out with spring water, but just rinsing it out thoroughly with just the faucet water. And then after it's rinsed thoroughly, then you want to keep it in that bowl and then pour some spring water on top of it. Let it sit and soak for at least 4 hours. You can do it for more. Some people do it overnight. That's fine. And then the next day, you'll rinse it out again, put it in your blender, and then it forms like a gel. So some people put the gel and take like 1 or 2 tablespoons a day. That's all you need. Some people put it in their smoothie. My niece, she just takes it by the spoonful and just takes it. I can't do it anymore just because I'm around it so much. It has become like, I need something else with it. So what I do, I take it with a big spoonful of applesauce is what I take it with. All right. But you can cook with it. I've put it in other dishes that are like when I'm making like a vegan fish or a vegan sauce, or sometimes I put it in my pancake batter. You can do so many different things with it. And it's kind of like, taking and hiding your vitamins in other food. Okay. But this is the most natural way that you can get that in. All right. What's the sea moss to water ratio? I do half and half. So, for example, if this is my blender and I've got the sea moss up here, then I've got the half of it is going to be water. So that's a real easy way to do. You can, of course, measure it, but there's different types of sea moss. This right here is called I can never pronounce it, Gracialara, Graciallara. Okay. This is the thinner strand, but then like you have a gold sea moss, which is, I'm drawing a blank here because again, I'm like focused and still annoyed with my family member that is like talking about pray for me. Like, stop eating that. I don't know. Her problem in that side of the family is the coffee. And so it's not just coffee. They tell us coffee is healthy, but what they're not telling us is all the sugar that's in the coffee. That is what's killing us, is the sugar. So this right here actually curbs your appetite for sugar. I used to have a sweet tooth. Matter of fact, I had sweet teeth. Like I couldn't go more than 30 minutes without wanting something sweet. When I take my sea moss and consistently, because you can't just take natural stuff 1 or 2 times and expect miracles. When you do these things consistently, it help you don't even desire it anymore. So that's free information I'm giving you guys. You ain't even got to sign up in my program. But I have information like this, tons of information like this that's going to help you without even joining my monthly program, that is still like beneficial. Things to help you start your Monday or your Thursday off right. Alkalizing breaths. You want to do an alkalizing breath? Let's do an alkalizing breath. What that is that is teaching the body to be, is teaching your nervous system how to not negatively respond or react when something bad happens. Okay. So if this was me with my whole family member and the whole doctor's thing, I would have called her, probably cursing her out, probably yelling and screaming, probably calling my sister like annoyed and like, ah! But I'm practicing alkalizing breaths consistently, and that teaches my nervous system to not respond and go off the deep end. So if any of you guys know anybody that is just, they react in a way that does not serve anybody. They want to curse everybody out. They want to yell and scream and all these other things that typically doesn't help. Teach them these alkalizing breaths. And I have a 30-second video on this on my YouTube, and also, of course, in my Skool and other platforms. But you're basically just breathing in through your nose for a 4-second count. So basically take 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you hold it at the top for a 3-second count. And then you exhale through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds or longer. Okay? So let's do that together. All right? Close your eyes if you can. And sit up straight. And then let's breathe in through our nose for a 4-second count. So ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going if you can. 8. Right? You want to do that 3 cycles in a row, back to back, and you want to do them at least 3 to 5 times a day. Now, I have it set in my phone where I'm doing it, I think 5 times a day, and it's spread out to where the alert goes off of my phone whenever I need to do it. So I don't even question it. I know the beat by heart, and I stop whatever I'm doing, and I'll do an alkalizing breath. And that has taken me from, like I said, cursing and yelling and getting upset, to now I'm just like, okay, I'm calm. Not perfect, but a whole lot better than what I used to be. Okay? If you're just joining, you know my story. You know that I played college basketball. And there's a myth that athletes have to be tough and mean and all these kind of crazy things. That's not true. But that's the kind of environment that I was used to. So I had to teach myself to calm down, because I'll be 50 this year. And I'm like, how does that serve me? It doesn't. I played basketball 30 years ago. Now I'm a whole different person. So I need to teach calm. Okay? Now, what other questions do you guys have? My website, someone's asking for my website. It is www.drdenisethinks. So my name, basically. I go by Dr. Denise Thinks. DRDENISE Thinks. THINKS. DrDeniseThinks.com. And yes, you can get the CMOS from there, and you can also sign up for the program for there. But if you're not in my Skool just yet, I suggest you guys starting there. Just join the Skool. As soon as you join, you want to start with the program. Like, start with day 0, and you have 14 days access to the program. See how you like it. Okay? 50. Wow, you look way younger. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's all about what you put into your body, not just the food. Yes, I'm a heavy advocate for fruits and vegetables. I am plant-based, but I don't believe that everybody should be plant-based. I've been around and practicing long enough to know that everybody is different. Literally, everybody is different. We are not cut and paste bodies. So I don't think that everybody should be plant-based anymore. I did at one point, but not anymore. I've had past clients where their bodies negatively reacted to where they were going to die if they didn't get certain foods from animals. So listen, it's not that deep to like kill yourself to actually, to live better. Like that's doesn't make sense, right? So no longer. So I will never push any kind of plant-based lifestyle on anybody because that's just not possible for everybody. Okay. It was good for me. All right. But not for everybody. So don't worry about me trying to push any kind of agenda on anybody. You won't get that from me at all. All right. But I do have some people that want to get to a consistent plant-based lifestyle. And so in the program, at a very strategic time in the program, there's an area where it's like, okay, this is where you'll make that switch. And if you want to continue to eat animal protein or whatever, then this is the lane for you. Okay. So it's designed for everybody in mind. And no matter what your goals are, if you just want to live healthier, that program is just for you. Now, if you join my school and you don't, you say you don't have the money for it, I totally understand. I lived on $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month while I was in school getting my PhD for almost 8 years. So let me bust myth number one. It does not take a lot of money to live healthily on a smaller budget. I'm talking about $1,500 for everything, housing, bills, like everything, $1,500 a month for almost 8 years. So if I can do it, I can teach you guys to do it. Okay. So budget is not the problem. Also, if you think the budgeting may be a problem for you as far as the cost of my program, I literally show you how you make every single dime back and more. Because, for example, one example out of many, I'm gonna give you more than one example, but the first example is I've only been sick one time in 9 years. Okay. And I'm not going to harp on that too long because I believe I got sick because I was bragging about it, telling people like I ain't been sick in almost 10 years, and then boom, I got sick. Okay. So I'm not bragging anymore on that. I'm just telling you guys as a benefit for you. So if you spend a lot of money on NyQuil and aspirins and medications, rub stuff on your bodies because you're in pain, you're not going to feel any of that anymore. So you're not going to need to spend your money on that kind of stuff anymore. One other thing, once I incorporated more fruits and vegetables into my Live It, no diet, but a Live It, I stopped needing my glasses. I had worn glasses since I was in the 6th grade. I needed them well before that, but I finally told my parents, like, you know what? I can't see the chalkboard at school. I need glasses. So please get them from me. Ever since the 6th grade. And like I told you guys, I'll be 50 this year. I don't need glasses anymore. Meanwhile, they tell us the older that we get, we're going to need stronger prescriptions. How is it that I wore glasses for all these years and my eyesight gets stronger? That doesn't happen unless you're putting certain things in your body. Okay. And it ain't carrots. Okay. It's not carrots. I ate carrots as a kid for years, and I think my eyesight got worse. So it ain't carrots. Part of it is the minerals and real, true vitamins. And I use the whole air quotes with vitamins because it's not a real thing, but it's a real thing. Okay. When I say it's not a real thing, is that you can't bottle the sun. Yes, we need vitamin D, but you can't bottle the sun. So that's what I mean by vitamins, okay? So yeah, That's it on that. But I show you how you get every single penny back from the investment of the program. Okay. Um, Anybody have any other questions? What time is it? All right, I'm over my time. I usually just do 30 minutes, but you guys have been amazing with your questions and being inquisitive today. Any other questions that you guys have? All right, somebody just came in. They said the website www.drdenisетhinks.com. DRDENISE thinks THINKS.com. And my school, I think you guys may want the link to my school. It's on my, I don't know what you call it in YouTube, but it's the similar thing to Instagram and Facebook. Well, it's in your bio, so the home regular page. Click on that link. It'll take you right to my school, and then it'll be that simple. Just start learning. One of the biggest things is that when people want to change their health for the better, they try to do too many things at once. Okay. So I remember a year ago, I had a client that came to me. He was like, Doc, I want to stop eating meat. I want to stop eating dairy. I want to stop the craving for fried food and ice cream, he said. So yeah, the dairy thing. And so I told him, I was like, okay, we can do that. That was real easy. The first thing that I had him do was incorporate sea moss. And before I said, we're going to incorporate sea moss, I was like, we're not going to get rid of anything yet. We're going to add something to your regimen. And it was sea moss. And so he came back like 2 weeks later. He was like, I have way less cravings. I might eat ice cream maybe once a week now, to where it was multiple times a day. And the cravings for, let's see. Hold on one second. So again, once you're filling your body with the minerals, you have less cravings. Once you do more meditation, more of the alkalizing breaths, you are calming your nervous system to where you don't fly off the handle as much anymore. And once you keep your emotions in check, then your food choices actually become more calm. What is the number one food that they show in TV shows when a girl is just going through a breakup with her boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever? What's the number one food that they always show? Ice cream, right? Exactly. Ice cream. It's like, okay, we gravitate towards certain foods because they're comforting. Mac and cheese. Whew. When I turned plant-based, I thought that I could never give up my mac and cheese. I was like, what am I gonna do? Mac and cheese and chitlins. Leave me alone. Don't fault me for that. But yes, I grew up eating chitlins, pig feet, all of that stuff, bacon, all of that stuff. And I was like, how am I gonna get rid of these things? But it starts here. I'm telling you guys, it starts here. It's not about white knuckling it. It's not about forcing yourself. It's not about willpower and motivation and just do this, like, you have to train yourself to no longer desire something. That's how you do it. And what's even funnier, my last breakup with my boyfriend, I actually used a lot of those same techniques to get over him. When you're with somebody, whether it's food or a human, you get used to that stuff. So I actually trained myself, and I was like, you know what? I didn't tell him at the time because we've had multiple breakups and we just kept coming back to each other because it's comforting, right? Just like food. It was comfortable to be in that relationship. And so when I knew the very last time, I was like 2 weeks before I ended things with him, because he's broken up with me, I broke up with him. He broke up with me, I broke up with him. The last 2 times where I was like, this is not beneficial for either one of us. I used some of my very same techniques that I used with a breakup with food with him. And I started paying more attention to and focusing on the things that got on my nerves about him. So the things that, may cause you to bloat, or may cause you to have acne, or may cause you to have the phlegm in your throat, start paying attention to that. When you're eating food that you know don't serve you, and you get this little phlegm in your throat and you're coughing, That's a signal that your body is like, well, we don't like this. This is not good. It's trying to cough it back up. Just like with smoking or drinking, you get a headache or a hangover. Your body is telling you, we don't like this. Okay? This is not me judging you. This is me just helping you read your body's signals. It's telling you, this is toxic. We don't like it. Okay? So, yeah. So, anyway, a lot of the things that I didn't like that he did, I focused on that. And I just made myself to a point where I was like, I am sick and tired of you. And this is not about me looking for perfection in someone. It was just, we just did not belong together. And it just took a long time for either one of us to have the courage and say, you know what, we got to cut this off. This is not okay. All right. Let me read this other question. What is good about honey, if you don't mind answering? What is good or not good? What about honey? What is so good about it? Okay. So personally, I don't eat honey anymore because it's made from an animal and I'm 100% plant-based. And when I was turning plant-based, I was like, a bee is an animal? But yes, it is an animal. So I don't eat honey. If I need something to sweeten up my food a little bit, I use agave and molasses. Okay? Agave and molasses. Agave is from a plant. It's from a cactus plant. Okay? So this is the most natural sweetness that you can get. Molasses is also natural as well. It's full of iron. So if you are anemic or iron deficient, this is one of the great way to get it. Take a tablespoon of it every day. Of course, there's natural herbs to get iron from as well. I also recommend that. I have herbs all over my cabinets, but this is why I'm in my kitchen, because this is my lab. This is my office. But yeah, so I'm not sure what you may have heard some influencer to talk about honey. What's great about that? I can't remember. There's some things I'm trying to remember from 10 years ago when people would be like, oh, you got to get honey. I've just gotten it out of my mind because it doesn't serve me personally. So what kind of benefits are you looking for that you may need? Maybe that'll help me with that question. But yeah, I'm not sure. So I appreciate your question. Let me help you further by, asking something in addition to that. Okay. Great to see you online again. Oh, hey, Hollywood. Good to see you too. Thanks for the advice, and I hope to see you again soon. Appreciate you. I think that's my friend from Ireland. I can't remember. But yeah, good to always see you guys. Let me give you guys my schedule for when I go online. I'm going to try to start doing more. But Mondays are membership only Mondays. So that's the members in my school. So I answer their health questions and whatever else they've got going on. So members only on Mondays inside of my school. Click the link. Wednesdays, Wellness Wednesdays at 8:30 Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, on Think Thursdays at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. For my people that are overseas, I think I had someone earlier from India as well. I have no idea what time that would be, but I'm sure you guys can Google it and figure it out. So I appreciate you guys finding me here. Yes, let me see. Benefits to replace sugar. Benefits to replace sugar. So yeah, these two. Definitely the agave and the molasses. This is very sweet. Like, so sweet. Okay. You want to stay away from white sugar. That's one of the biggest things that you can do. Staying away from white sugar. And when you see brown sugar, that's actually just molasses mixed in on top of the white sugar. And even though it has molasses in it, which I'm advocating for, you still don't want to do brown sugar because again, you're just covering up shit on top of shit. Like it's still going to be shit no matter what you put over it. Okay. So what you want to go for is coconut sugar. If you need something like granules, like the regular sugar, go for coconut sugar or date sugar. I wish I could show you, but I'm out of both of those. But these are my two sweeteners right now. But if you need some granules, go for coconut sugar and date sugar. Those are the better two. It's just strictly from fruit. It's a plant from the fruit of a tree. Okay? But if you want something liquidy, like I even use this as a syrup for my pancakes. And I used to eat pancakes 4 or 5 times a week. I may have it once every 6 months now. And now that I'm talking about it, I may make it tonight for my dinner. But I don't even do pancakes and waffles much anymore. I just don't desire it anymore because again, I'm consistent with my CMOS. But yeah, great question. Great question. 8 p.m. GMT. Okay. All right. That's good. Good to know. Good to know. I appreciate you. All right. What other questions do you guys have before I get out of here? It's 5 till 5. I've got some editing to do for some more content for you guys. I'm going to start releasing my real creative stuff. I don't know if you guys know, but I have a song that I have made, or it's kind of like a rap, but it actually is, it's very informational about certain foods out there too. Okay. So I create those kind of things to help you guys remember it a lot easier. Okay. So I'm going to start doing more of that. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you. Maybe I'll do Sunday night. I don't know. But just come into my school and it's free for 7 days. After that, it's just $5 a month. Am I worth $5 a month? Am I worth that? I don't know. All right. I'm going to get off the other lives here and I'm going to tend to my Skool member to see if they have any questions. So if nothing, I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate you. See you later. All right, I'm going to swing around.